I don't know, I just felt like being dramatic. Welcome! Today I am going to be sharing with you all of the fall and Halloween goodies that I have picked up from Bath & Body Works over the last 2 weeks. So 2 weeks ago, it was the release of the Halloween products, and then this week that I'm filming it, it was the release of the traditional fall stuff. So we are now in full-blown fall at Bath & Body Works. So we're gonna be reading some scent notes today, getting some first impressions of what things smell like, at least on my skin, and of course just looking at the beautiful packaging that they always think up of for every single Halloween and fall. So if you aren't already subscribed, my name is Melissa and I used to be a part-time manager at a Bath & Body Works for about 6 years, and now I'm here on YouTube making Bath & Body Works related content. So if that is something that is up your alley, then make sure you subscribe to my channel down below. I do have a giveaway coming up very, very soon. Part of the shopping I've been doing at Bath & Body Works lately is to prepare for my 2 giveaway packages, so you won't want to miss out. Make sure you are subscribed and watching so that you know all of the details about that to come. With that being said, I am not going to be showing you the things that I did buy that are going to be for the giveaway. I'm just going to be showing you the things that I kind of grabbed for me, or at least for reviewing sake. So let's start taking a look. I think we'll start with the traditional fall first and then do Halloween second, just because that's kind of in chronological order of the calendar. This is my style. I am really into this collection. It's kind of a back to school collection, and it has fun colored lids that match the color of the hand sanitizers. First up, we have Afternoon Apple Picking, and this one is a fragrance that comes back pretty much every fall, and they've been doing this one for many years now, mainly in hand soap and hand sanitizer department. This is kind of a quintessential classic Bath & Body Works scent. It kind of reminds me of if Bath & Body Works itself had a smell, this would be it. And maybe it's because it's reminding me of Country Apple, which is one of their original fragrances. So love that one. Next up, they have this blue one here, which is called Marshmallow Treat, and it's got a cute little boom box on the front. And I really like the smell of this one too. It has a good blend of both the marshmallow notes, it's very apparent, but also it has like a sweet, milky creaminess that smells a little bit like the cereal of the cereal treat too. So well done on that one. I love it when Bath & Body Works makes bubblegum scents. I feel that they don't do it often enough. So I was definitely glad to see a bubblegum scent return to the store. This is pink bubblegum, and this one is really nice because when they make bubblegum scents, I find that sometimes they aren't very strong, or the longevity or throw isn't very good if it's a candle, but this one is not the case. I find that this one is very heavily fragranced and it lasts really long. It's very fragrant, so that's good. And then the last of that back to school collection, we have Fruit Squeeze, which to me, when you first put it on, it smells like Sunny Delight, which is appropriate that they have a juice box on there. But as it dries down on my skin, I do get kind of an essence of vanilla, like an orange creamsicle scent. This is the apple scent I wish that Bath & Body Works would make in a body care scent. So this is Sweet Apple, and I find that this, even more so than the Afternoon Apple Picking, is the perfect apple scent. It's crisp apples, nothing else. Oftentimes at Bath & Body Works, apple scents get paired with florals, and it just changes it. And this is nice because I don't detect that floral note in there. It smells like when you go to the apple orchard and they have all of the pre-picked apples in the bins. It's just so crisp and pure and very realistic. I wish they had that in body care and home fragrance. I would totally snatch all of those up, but they do have it in hand soap and the sanitizers. Honestly, same thing with this one. This is pear vanilla, and I find that whenever they have pear in body care, it just doesn't translate as what I think of as a true pear scent. When I want a pear body care or even a candle, I'm thinking like Jelly Belly, Jelly Beans pear. I just want it to be very juicy and very realistic to actual pears. They're always blending in notes of musks and florals, so I don't get that really true sense of pear, but this one has it. So vanilla pear, it's a little bit sweet because of the vanilla, but very realistic on the pear. So I wish I had that in body care too. I'm ready to show you the candles next. So at the store, they had this collection. This is their very late summer, early fall collection that they had, and this is like a cracked pot. I think the inspiration behind this packaging is in Asian cultures, or I think it's specifically Japan. I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me. They have this kind of mentality, you know, when something's broken, you can actually repair it and make it even higher value. So when the pot breaks, they actually fill in the cracks with gold. So that way it's actually worth more or more expensive when it breaks. So it's kind of like turning something good out of something bad. So I think that's kind of the inspiration behind this. I don't know. I can see how someone likes this. This isn't really my style for the packaging. I would prefer to have cute little woodland critters or fun little swirls and stuff. I tend to like more cartoony things and like cutesy stuff, so not really normally my style of packaging. I'm mainly here for the scent, and if the packaging is cute, that's just an added bonus for me, so I don't mind that I don't really care for this specific packaging. But this is Honeycrisp Apple, and once again with that idea of like a pure, true apple scent, I find that this one's nice because it doesn't have cinnamon mixed in, it doesn't have clove mixed in, and it does have ever so slightly a little bit hint of floral when I burned it, at least the last time I burned this candle, which I think was about 2 years ago. So I'm interested to see if it still is that way with the kind of subtle floral note in the background when I burn this one, but we'll find out. But it smells so good. This has Golden Honeycrisp, Apple Blossom, and Fresh Sugarcane. It must be that Apple Blossom that I was kind of sensing that last time I burned it, so we'll see. But either way, I think this one is super good if you like a pure apple scent. Okay, the next 5 candles all match the collection, and this is the packaging I'm actually more interested in personally. We've got the classic Pumpkin Pecan Waffles. This one comes back every year if you're new to Bath & Body Works and you like the more bakery sweet scents, which are called gourmands. This is where it's at. This is like your classic quintessential gourmand scent from Bath & Body Works for fall. So it is maple syrup, golden waffles, pumpkin spice, and brown sugar. When smelling pumpkin pecan waffles, I get mainly notes of maple syrup and brown sugar. It's kind of that syrupy sweet scent. But then you start to smell a little bit of that crispy waffle dough kind of scent in the background too. It's just very nice if you like that baked treat smell all through your house. This one has very good longevity and very good burn. So if you like a strong scent, I highly recommend pumpkin pecan waffles. Another classic we have in the lineup here is Caramel Pumpkin Swirl. And because of the memories, I now view this as my traditional thunderstorm candle because there was, I think it was in the year 2020, we had a huge thunderstorm that ended up knocking out the power for the evening. And at the time we were kind of reading cozy books. I think I was working through the Nancy Drew series, and so we lit this candle and we were reading by candlelight during the thunderstorm, and it was very charming. So now whenever I smell this candle, it reminds me of that time we did that. And so this has notes of luscious caramel, ground cinnamon, rich brown sugar, creamy vanilla. This one is a little less rich and deep than the pumpkin pecan waffles, but it's definitely a caramel forward scent as opposed to pumpkin. Also very, very sweet, but it's a little more airy because of the vanilla as opposed to the waffle scent. Apple Macchiato. This is the second time we've had Apple Macchiato. This was a brand new fragrance as of last year, and it returned again for this fall's lineup. So this one has notes of Washington spiced apples, hint of cinnamon, caramel drizzle, and frothed milk. I'm smelling this in the candle this year, and I like it better. Either I've changed or maybe they've amped up the volume on this one. I don't know. It smells better than I remember, so that's a good thing anyways. I don't really get a sense of frothed milk. They say it has caramel drizzle and frothed milk, and there is no sense of coffee in it when a macchiato is literally a coffee. So I think that's kind of my complaint. It almost feels a little bit like a misleading scent. Honestly though, packaging 10 out of 10 for me. At least I like the more cutesy cartoony, and I love the colorfulness too. This one is kind of like a toned down sweeter version of pumpkin apple. That's the best way I can explain it. Next up we have Blueberry Pumpkin Patch, and this one I do really like this. So we've actually had many years of different renditions of pumpkin with blueberry in it for a fall candle. I think they've used Blueberry Pumpkin Patch as the name before. I didn't buy those ones, so I can't recall exactly what it smelled like, so I can't tell you if it's the same or not. Either way, farm fresh blueberries, ripe pumpkin, and autumn spice. Oh, that is so good. So to me, this smells like, this is kind of weird, but hot blueberries. You know, like when you have blueberries cooking on the stove, they smell so different than like fresh blueberries or even frozen blueberries. They kind of turn into jam or compote. The way that the heat changes the fragrance of them is just very distinct and iconic, and this candle perfectly captures that hot blueberry scent. And then the last fall traditions candle I grabbed is the pumpkin cinnamon bun, and this one might take the cake. I think this one's my favorite. I don't know. I love all of them. Cream cheese. I get cream cheese notes extremely heavily. Like it pretty much just smells like cream cheese and pumpkin cinnamon rolls. Have you ever had Pillsbury's pumpkin cream cheese rolls that you just like pop them out of the can and put them into the oven? That smells so good. I love that scent. And this one reminds me of that. This has warm cinnamon roll, pumpkin spice, and vanilla frosting. It's cream cheese frosting, I'm telling you, not vanilla. Cream cheese all the way. So there is one more candle, but it's Halloween, so I'm gonna push that to the Halloween stuff and move on to the body care that I have for fall traditions. So as you may already know, the returning fragrances for body care so far are Marshmallow Pumpkin Latte. That is a classic favorite. I already have so much of it, so at this time I didn't buy any. Same thing with Pumpkin Pecan Waffles. We've got that one back. Both of those 10 out of 10 pumpkin body care fragrances. You must get them if you're Team Pumpkin. And then we have Champagne Apple and Honey as a returning fragrance too in this collection, and that one I find has mainly apple, but then it has a little bit of notes of floral, but the champagne note kind of brings this bubbly feminine kind of side to it. It makes me think of it more as like a perfume scent as opposed to like country farm stand wholesome kind of fragrance, if that makes sense. All of those I'm completely stocked up on, so I won't be showing you those today because I did not buy any. But the scents that I did buy, I actually had none in my collection, and I've not really purchased them in the past. As you well know, I used to work at Bath & Body Works, and so I am familiar with these fragrances in terms of selling them to customers and trying them on in store and stuff, but I never owned them for myself. So I kind of wanted to experience them for myself, so I did get some returning fragrances that are maybe old to you, but they're new to me. So let's go through some of those first. I got them all in body lotions because I did pick these up during Body Lotion Day. They had $5.50 for all moisturizers, so I'll be showing you the lotions today. Also, by the way, I'm going to be picking up the matching fragrance mists when it's Fragrance Mist Day, which by the time you're watching this will have already happened. It's coming this weekend, so just wanted to kind of throw that out there. But we have Sweater Weather. So the notes on this one are Suncrisp Apple, Autumn Leaves, and Orchard Woods. Now, to me, this Sweater Weather in the body care smells completely different from what it smells like in the home fragrance. In home fragrance, I find it's more of like that typical cologne, fresh, outdoorsy, crisp. We used to call them mandals at work because it kind of smells like a men's cologne traditionally would, except a little more crisp and fresh than that. So I was kind of surprised when they very first released Sweater Weather and it had more of those apple notes, and I found that it was more of a unisex kind of situation. So let me smell this again. I do still get some of that kind of gender neutral, leaning towards the masculine side when I first smell it in the bottle, but when I put it on my skin, it does kind of change into a different scenario. If you're trying to find a fragrance that works for you, it's always really important to try it on your skin because what you smell in the bottle could completely change on your skin because of body chemistry. My skin tends to pull floral notes, which is kind of ironic because I don't tend to enjoy floral notes. I also notice that I tend to pull citrus notes, so if it ever has lemons or oranges, it really comes to the front when it's on my skin. Yeah, Sweater Weather is really hard to describe. So busy. Yeah, it's funny because as I'm smelling this in the bottle, it comes across as being like a crisp, cold, fresh, outdoorsy scent. But then when it's on my skin, it smells like a warm scent. Like I find that it's more of a cozy, warm, autumnal scent. It's really hard to describe. I guess it's because when you say Orchard Woods, that kind of is like generic wood smell. So it does kind of smell more like a unisex / men's fragrance to me. Like I would totally give this to Jose to wear. When you say Suncrisp Apple and when you make that the first note, I think it's gonna smell more like apple than it actually does. So if you're an apple fan, but you're not really into those more musky scents, be careful with this one because I find that this really doesn't smell like apple at all. I find that it does have like an apple component as like a blended scent, but not like, oh, this smells like apples. You know what I mean? If you are a Sweater Weather wearer, that's hard to say, let me know down below in the comments if you find that it's more of like a crisp, cool scent on your skin or if it's more of a warm, cozy scent. Along that same kind of train of thought, we have Ivory Cashmere, which has notes of fresh lakeside air, silver musk, and white amber. Once again, kind of that woodsy, musky kind of side. I think of the two, I like Ivory Cashmere better. Yeah, that one really changed on my skin too. Man, it's so hard to describe. It's like nothing I've ever really smelled before. Oh, that one has like a cute kind of subtle sweet scent in it. You have to search for it. It's not obviously sweet, but there's like this cute little base note in there that's like a little bit creamy vanilla-y. That's kind of what I'm sensing when it's on my skin as opposed to when it's in the bottle. So if you like something that's sweet but not desserty, maybe something more comforting, I would choose Ivory Cashmere. It's not too heavily scented, but it's definitely more of a sophisticated fragrance as opposed to being playful like a pumpkin scent. Now this is a new fragrance for everybody. This is called Together Weather, and this is brand new as of this fall 2023. We've never had this scent before. It has notes of blushing breeze, sugared cardamom, and soft cedar. In Together Weather, there's a little hint of a peppery note in there. I think maybe it could be the cardamom or it could be the cedar. It's not as intense of a woody scent as the other two. I'm having a hard time remembering what Blush Cardigan smells like, but I feel like it could smell a little bit like that. I was also thinking maybe it could be similar to Autumn Drive, but it really isn't. Autumn Drive is definitely more of a fruity, sweet, simplistic fragrance, while this one has lots of layers that are kind of spicy, warm, and interesting, if that makes sense. All three of these, they're really hard to describe because they all have so many layers. None of them I would classify as gourmand. None of them I would classify as fruity. None of them I would classify as fresh clean. They're all kind of this cozy, warm, a little musky, a little woody, but the Sweater Weather has more of those crisp notes that are kind of like a fresh clean scent, but it's not the prominent thing in it. And then Ivory Cashmere I find is a little more of the musk kind of scent, kind of that deeper smell as opposed to the Sweater Weather that has more of those vibrant top notes. But then this one, I would say, is probably the sweetest of the three. I would classify all of these as warm, spicy, woodsy, musky scents as opposed to gourmands or whatever. But this, I find, is the closest to a gourmand of the three. If I were to compare the sweetness to anything, I would say maybe powdered sugar, because it has kind of like a light fluffiness, but it's like a little bit of a nondescript sweetness on the very, very bottom, very subtle. Once again, like the Ivory Cashmere, you have to kind of search for it. So yeah, it's really interesting. And then I did grab some goodies from the Faceted collection. So this is a returning fragrance, Black Cherry Merlot. We've had this in fall collections. We've had it as New Year's fragrance. It's kind of one of those fragrances that comes and goes in any collection it chooses to every so often. This is definitely more of a fun, fruity fragrance. So the notes listed for Black Cherry Merlot are a rich, sophisticated, alluring blend of dark cherry, black raspberry, and sumptuous Merlot. The way they've described Black Cherry Merlot sounds like it's very sophisticated and fancy, and I'm not gonna lie to you, this straight up smells like cherry Kool-Aid to me, which is probably not the most sophisticated of scents. But you know what? That's okay. I'm here for it. It actually smells really good. And the first hit on my nose was definitely obvious cherry scent, but as it started to dry away, I definitely noticed it turn more into a black raspberry scent. Now, this is the scent I was the most excited to try in body care because we all know and love Leaves as a home fragrance. So they finally brought it back in body care. This is the first time we've seen it since 2009. And I find that the notes listed in Leaves, both candle and home fragrance, is just the true definition of what fall smells like. So the body care for Leaves is described as spiced, fruity, and oh so cozy. Basically everything you love about fall. Like I was saying, it's like the classic everything you love about fall is in this bottle. Crisp red apple, golden nectar, and warm clove spice. I feel like this actually would smell really good wearing this around Christmas time as well because of that red spicy apple note. It has like a mulled cider scent. Ooh, on my skin, the way it changes. Yeah, on my skin, it's actually a lot spicier. So in the bottle, I'm getting more of that juicy red apple, that kind of rich golden syrup red apple scent. But on my skin, the cinnamon really comes out, which is nice because I find that there have not been very many body care scents with a good spice note in it, like actual spices like clove, cinnamon, nutmeg. Ooh, yeah, that's very cinnamon pine coney on my skin, and I cannot wait to start using this for fall and find different things that pair well with it. It's gonna be so much fun. This is not necessarily fall scents, rather this was the last summer floor sets release, so it's late summer, early fall kind of scent. Another home fragrance favorite turned into body care. I did grab that in the shower gel and the body lotion. And this one says it is a light, juicy, everyday scent. It has notes of juicy citrus, fresh spring water, and sweet mango. This is a really fun scent too, and I do see that it could make a good transitional summer into fall fragrance, but also I think I'd be wearing this in the spring too because it's so peppy and zesty that I feel like it would definitely be a good pick-me-up after a long cold winter when you're ready for something a little warmer. On my skin it smells a lot like mangoes, but there still is enough citrus that it's not just like a pure mango scent. For example, the Golden Mango Lagoon that they had released earlier this year is, to me, more of a true pure mango scent, while this one definitely has more of those zippy citrus notes. For now, those are the traditional fall fragrances I grabbed. Now let's move into Halloween, starting with some body care. Equal parts hearts, fruity, floral, and frightful, we have Vampire Blood in a diamond shimmer mist in the travel size. And I was pleased to see that these Halloween travel size fine fragrance mists do account for your free item coupon when they are for the $9.95 free body care item. So these ones are exactly $9.95, so that worked out perfectly. They are supposed to have a pumpkin and ghoul friend as well. My store didn't have either of those, so I ended up getting the Vampire Blood. And perhaps as my store continues to receive shipment, I can pick up those other two of the Halloween travel size shimmer mists. But this is a Halloween classic favorite. Comes back every year, and it smells like red berries, night blooming jasmine, and plum. I really like the packaging and just the fact that they had multiple full-size body care items in Halloween fragrances this year. I feel that they really went all out, so that was exciting to see. Before, they just only had Wicked Vanilla Woods, and I think last year was the first time they had more than one option. Enchanted Candy Potion as the other fragrance you could get. This one is called Everlasting Magic, and it has notes of bejeweled berries, phantom petals, and magic musk. To me, this is kind of smelling a little bit similar to how they kind of have this thing that they're stuck in where everything smells like whipped berry meringue, cotton candy clouds, among the clouds, boardwalk taffy. Like, I know they're not all the same, but they are kind of similar enough that my opinion is it's not really worth having all of them in your collection. Now, I know it's definitely not the same as cotton candy clouds, but there have been a couple of rendition of essentially like marshmallows with pink berries kind of vibes that it's kind of repetitive. And even though it's repetitive, it does smell very good. I find of the Halloween scents, this one is a little more on the powdery and airy side of sweet. This packaging for Halloween, I love the stained glass window effect. This is reminding me of the Legend of Sleepy Hollow with the pumpkin heads. So cute, so much fun. This is pumpkin carving. Freshly carved pumpkins, spiced pumpkin seeds, and smooth brown sugar. This one does come back pretty much every year. Sometimes they've made pumpkin Halloween candles where they call it pumpkin carving and it smells exactly like sweet cinnamon pumpkin, but this one actually does smell like pumpkin carving, not sweet cinnamon pumpkin. It is its own fragrance. It's a little bit more on the deep, dark, rich side of things. It's a little bit sweet, but not as much as some of their other pumpkin scents. It smells like Halloween. So the part of the Halloween collection that I was the most excited about was the hand soaps, and man, they laid it on thick with the Halloween hand soaps this year. I feel like they really outdid themselves, brought us so many different scents. I mentioned this scent earlier. This was originally a body care scent that they had for Halloween 2 years in a row, last year and the year before. Wicked Vanilla Woods. This has notes of magical vanilla, glowing amberwood, and enchanted pink pepper. It's interesting because this one did not come back in body care this year, but at least we got it in a wallflower and the hand soap. Woo! This to me does smell like a good Halloween scent. That's the thing about some of their scents for Halloween, is they're not normally fragrances I would associate with the holiday of Halloween. For example, I usually think of pumpkins, chocolate, candy, maybe some woodsy, spooky, rich scents like the Wicked Vanilla Woods. Like if spooky creatures smelt like something, and if they smelt good, which I assume if they did smell like something, they probably wouldn't smell good. If spooky creatures smelt good, this is what they would smell like. Wicked Vanilla Woods, kind of that musky, rich, a little bit peppery, just spooky and cold and eerie. So I think that they encapsulated Halloween in a really good way in this fragrance. But then there's things like, to me, Vampire Blood, even though it's a nice scent, it just doesn't smell like Halloween to me. It just smells like fruit. Same thing with Ghoul Friend. It smells good, but I just don't think of strawberries and florals as being an October spooky Halloween scent. I know they've had it for years, and like the memory association makes me think of Halloween, but other than that, it's just like not a classic October-y scent. Dark strawberries, ghostly peony, and spine-chilling citrus. I think they do that too, just so that there's kind of a category for everyone. I think this is a good scent for a hand soap, but if it were in body care, they should make it like a cutesy Eastery scent. Like, this just smells like Easter to me. Look at that packaging. It's so fun. I love the black paired with the bright, vibrant colors. Moonlit Graveyard. Doesn't that remind you of like an Edgar Allan Poe kind of situation? So this one has notes of tombstone moss, cold foggy air, and eerie incense. This smells like the ground. Ooh, that definitely smells spooky, all right. This smells like outside decaying leaves, a little bit like patchouli. It must be the incense. This is not normally a scent I would go for, but I think I like it just because it does kind of match a Halloween vibe, so There you go. Now this one is a little more my speed. This one is Perfect Pumpkin. We do get this one every single year, and this is their classic Halloween pumpkin scent. It has carved pumpkin, spooky cinnamon, and moonlight vanilla. I can't help myself, I'm just a pumpkin girly, I guess. That smells very similar to Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin. It has a little bit of that kind of classic Bath & Body Works 90s blend that I feel like they kind of use as a base for all of their scents despite what the fragrance is. So it has a little bit of that kind of classic 90s scent going on, but there is that hint of pumpkin in there that makes you think, oh, Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin, so kind of harvesty. And then last but not least, I think this is the one I was the most excited for, and I haven't even smelled it yet. So this is Spellbinding Sweets, just based on the color, the packaging, and the scent notes. This is the one I am the most curious about, most excited about. It has Haunted Lollipop, Sweet Bubblegum, and Bewitched Berries. I'm hoping that it smells a lot like bubblegum, but we'll find out. It does smell like bubblegum, yay! Actually kind of surprised. I was expecting it just to smell like citrus. You know what I mean? Like when things are just kind of like candy citrus. No, this smells like bubblegum. Ooh, I am excited about that. So very pleased to inform you, this smells like bubblegum. There you have it. I know that was a lot to go through, so thank you for sticking with me all the way to this point of the video. Like I said, stay tuned because I've got a giveaway coming up and you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be fall themed. There will be 2 packages, so 2 winners. So stay tuned on my channel until I give you some more information about that. We need a discussion question, so let me know down in the comments below if you've made it into the store to see any of this new Halloween or fall stuff, and let me know what you picked up if you picked up anything. I like to see what other people are hauling or seeing what people have been enjoying so far for the new seasonal stuff, and I will be seeing you in my next video. Thanks again for watching. Bye!